Hello everyone and welcome back to Ironhome, a solo actual play where I, Sophia, play Starforged through a variety of different settings. It's been a while. I know last video I promised that I would try to take less time between videos. Well, that was a lie, but it is what it is. So, let's get right to it. I'm really excited to get back into this campaign. This music is so sad. Why is it so sad? Let's put something a little nicer, please. Mountain Village. A little less sad. Just a little. Alright, so as a reminder to everyone, I'm playing Astrid. She has long black hair tied in a braid, blue and green farmer overalls. She's large and athletic and rebellious and impulsive. Her pronouns are she and her, and we've got a lot of vows here. A lot of progress track, a lot of vows. There's a lot happening in this game, and I haven't advanced much in it. So let's go ahead and go over what happened last session. Actually, let's follow the rules. And let's do the begin a session move. When you begin a significant session or chapter of play, do all of the following. There's a table. Identify or adjust flag content to set a flag. Review or recap what happened last session. Now let's do that. Let's go ahead and recap what happened last session. So last session, we finished making the scarecrow. We took off on our journey into the mountains. Over there we met Lucas the Adventurer, a large mountain man who gave us a sword and taught us to fight. We fell in a hole and found a strange object, another part of the artifact that we uncovered in the first session. And once we dug out of that hole, thanks to the help from Bandit who called Lucas to come help us, we left and a spirit watched us leave, popped his little head out. And at the end, we had a little scene where we saw Venri sweet-talking the mayor into closing up our farm. So, what I'm going to do is, at the end of the session, I'm also going to roll to see if this clock advances or not, or based on what happens. So, now it says, set the scene by envisioning your character's current situation and intent. So our intent is to get to that mine. And the scene I'm envisioning is Astrid walking through these woods, dirt ground, lots of trees, bushes, grass, and the following, and she's with her pet companion, her pet dog, Bandit, by her side, every now and then, scratching Bandit's side. And along with her is, we said his name was Lucas, the big mountain man, an adventurer from the guild, large, scarred, unfriendly, and cautious, is hunting a specific beast or monster. So that's a scene. The three of us are heading through the woods, trying to get to this abandoned mine. Now, Lucas said he would help us there, so we are definitely going to use that connection to our benefit. We have the make a connection that says right here, when they aid you with their roll, add +1 and take +1 momentum on the hit. So for the duration of this journey, Lucas will be helping us. So let's go ahead and make another roll of that. Let's see if we can get some foresty music going on. Treetop Sanctuary. This sounds very, very Stardew Valley. I like it. All right. So, let's go ahead and start our journey. So, actually continue our journey. So we're going to undertake an expedition. When you trailblaze a route through a perilous blah, 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 blah. We are probably using wits. We're not moving at speed, and we're not keeping under the radar. So We're just staying vigilant, trying not to fall into any more holes. So we're gonna roll with a +1 add. Ooh, look at all this. Very fancy. Nice going, Ironhome Foundry team, Ben and company. So fancy. I'm gonna have to look at this. By the way, I promised some people that I would do a video on Foundry. I swear I will get to that as soon as I can. Anyway, let's get back to this. So, wits. We're gonna roll with wits, and we've got a weak hit. Oh, by the way, I removed the dice so nice thing because I wasn't really using them. I was immediately looking at the result here, and you know, they're fancy looking and everything, but it's just. And also when if I make it wait for the result to show it and everything, you know, the oracles would get really slow. So if anyone really, really, really liked the dice so nice, just let me know. Leave a comment below and maybe I'll add them back. Just for like decoration, you know, I'll still look here, but you know, we can just have them rolling on the screen. So we've got a weak hit. You reach a waypoint, but this progress costs you. Envision the location and mark progress per the rank of the expedition, but choose one. Suffer costs en route, make a suffer move -2. You know what? I'm gonna suffer some supply because we've been traveling for a while now, and I'm gonna say that we're probably spending the night. I can't remember. I'm sorry. It's been like a month since the last session, so I can't remember if the distance was very far away or a day away. I imagine it's reasonably far away from town because, you know, dangers of the wild. It wouldn't be like an hour away from town. So maybe it's a few days. So let's go ahead and say that we had to, you know, make some camp, and we spent some of the food supplies that we brought back with us from the farm. But now let's envision the location. Let's see if we have any location themes. I don't think I'm going for any of these, so let's just go ahead and roll a descriptor and a focus. Isolated art. Oh, I like this one. The first thing that comes to mind is yes, so the first thing that comes to mind is that we're like Astrid is about to set camp, you know, and it's getting dark and we're about to start a little campfire and everything when Lucas, you know, renowned explorer, kind of puts his hand on her shoulder and says, not here. We're gonna set camp over there. And Astrid kind of makes a face and says, why not here? It's perfectly fine here. And he kind of points behind some bushes, you know, and they kind of like part the bushes to a side, and we have these huge termite nests, you know, these kind of like, I think it's termites. Anyone correct me if I'm wrong, but it's these kind of like, maybe it's ants, termites, whatever. Some kind of insect that builds, I'm pretty sure it's termites, that builds this kind of sand mess towards the up, and you've got this whole like very beautiful structure created by insects, and it's just full of them. It's just full of them, and it's this giant dirt thing, and it's just beautiful. It looks like tiny skyscrapers. And Lucas is like, that's why. Unless you want to wake up covered in a swarm with that, we're gonna camp over there. And Astrid, you know, admits defeat, nods, and they go and camp in the other place. We had some background lore on Lucas. I had some ideas on him. So I think we're just gonna say we have a like little, Astrid and Lucas have a little conversation there by the campfire. There's a little more sword teaching going on, you know, while they're waiting for the food to cook. Maybe during the day we have a little montage where they're hunting as well, and Lucas is slowly, Astrid is slowly growing on Lucas as the journey advances, and I think Astrid is just gonna ask Lucas, like, so why do you do it? You know, why do you live in the wilds? Why do you do all this? You know, isn't it dangerous? Isn't it? Why? And Lucas is maybe, I'm gonna say, for the purposes of the moment, sharpening his sword. And he says, someone's gotta do it. And if no one does it, then it's the townspeople that pay the price. And he kind of like pauses for a second. And I don't want anyone to go through what I went through. And when Astrid is kind of like, what did you go through? Lucas says, it's late. Let's get some rest. Got a long journey ahead tomorrow. And he kind of kicks the sand into the fire and rolls over, lies down and goes to sleep. I'm gonna write a little something here. Oh, that matches perfect with is hunting a specific beast or monster. For those of you that don't want to get spoiled, the idea, then just, you know, cover your ears or something. But I had the idea that Lucas lost someone important to him, to a monster, the monster that he is now hunting. Very classic. I love it. All right, so that's the night. Let's go ahead and make another undertaken expedition. +1 bonus with wits. And another weak hit. So we are almost there. Reach a waypoint. Suffer a peril. Or... Again, I really don't want to make this journey longer than it has to be. I probably shouldn't have made it dangerous, but here we are. So I'm gonna go with a spirit and a momentum because it goes 1 and 1. Basically what happens is that Astrid, sorry, 1 second. Okay, we're back. So basically Astrid, she wasn't expecting this to be such a long journey, and as it advances, her spirit and momentum go down. You know, she's losing that initial inertia. Oh my god, initial inertia. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. It's becoming a lot for her. So hopefully we'll get there quickly. But let's see where we are now. Unstable energy. Okay, yeah, unstable energy. I don't think that fits our little forest setting that we're going for here. Ancient vehicle. Ancient vehicle. All right, I like that. So we're walking through these woods, and then at some point we come across a moss and plant covered carriage. It used to be like a 1-horse carriage, and it's on its side, and it's lifted up by by the roots of a tree. It's like at an angle. Part of one of the wheels is like fused to the roots and the bark of the tree. Like, this is an old carriage, and it's just, you know, become one with the forest. You can see that part of it is broken, and it's been abandoned here for who knows how long. It must be many years if the tree grew into it. And that's it. We just, you know, spend some time. We don't spend some time looking at it. I imagine that Lucas just keeps going, and this just happens as Astrid kind of just turns her head for a moment while they're in the journey, and she just sees that. a little butterfly fluttering about as the, you know, that kind of scene where the camera is like sliding along and we can see in the background among the trees, you know, and you've got that little effect and this little carriage, a little ray of light coming through. And we just see Astrid's face looking at it, you know, pensive. Nice little scene. All right, so let's see if we get there. Now, I have terrible luck with finishing an expedition, and I hate getting misses on finishing an expedition. Now, anyone that's watched this channel, that's probably happened before. So, if I do not finish this expedition, I am going to change my fate. I am not going through this. I'm not redoing this journey. I mean, I might, maybe the mine wasn't there, maybe something happened to it, but I'm warning all of you, I am not getting a miss on this. I will not have that. Okay, here we go. Finish an expedition. We need 7s or less. Bam. Yeah, no, we got nothing to add here. Strong hit, that's what I'm talking about. On a strong hit, you reach your destination or complete your survey, micro reward on your Discoveries Legacy track. Look at that, yes. 2 ticks for a dangerous journey. Look at us go. 1 more dangerous journey and we've got experience. Excellent, I love it. Okay, so we are done with this journey. We arrive at the mine. Let's change the music to some kind of like mine music. Mine music. Let's just put some. For now, let's put some, I don't know, something like this. Actually, no, let's just leave the one we had until we're inside the mine. Actually, no, this one's perfect. Yeah, Elven Ruins. Sorry for making such a fuss about music. All right, so we arrive at the mine. It's basically a small elevated ground, lots of rocks tossed aside, a big hole there to go in, and Astrid is super excited. She's like ready to run in. She's grabbing from her pack, like no, she's just ready to run in when suddenly pop, an arm comes in front of her. Lucas's arm kind of like covers her from going in, and she looks up at Lucas, and Lucas says, "Now you know how to get to the mine, but you're not going in." And she looks up and says, what do you mean I'm not going in, Lucas? What the hell?" And he goes, "Listen, I know you've been training with me for a little bit, but you're not ready to go in there. Become an adventurer first. Come to the guild. You know, do some things, and then maybe you can go inside." And Astrid's like, "Lucas, it's just a cave. It's an abandoned mine. I'm gonna get some minerals and some geodes and stuff. What are you?" And Lucas kind of shakes his head. He says, "Long time ago, miners in that cave, they dug deep and they awoke something unknown, something ancient. It's why the mine is empty. It's why it's abandoned, even though it's full of minerals and stones and..." Listen, there are all kinds of monsters and creatures that popped up overnight. That's what the legends say anyway. And Astrid kind of goes like, what kind of creatures? Lucas sighs and he says, well, there are the slimes. Little cute buggers until they jump on your face and they melt your skin with acid. There's the giant insects, giant worms, beetles, flying bugs, the like. There's monsters made of stone and shadow. And some even say there are the lost souls of the miners killed long ago, looking to snuff the life out of anyone that goes in. And Astrid kind of looks at Lucas and she's like, you're kidding, right? Monsters and zombies? And Lucas just stares at her with a very serious face. Astrid is a bit unnerved by Lucas's seriousness and all of this, and she says, but before she can speak, Lucas just sighs. I know that look. I've seen that look. He kind of like removes his hand. He says, I'm not going to be able to stop you from going in. Just promise me that if you encounter something dangerous, you'll come back out. You'll get out of there. And Astrid says, Lucas, I promise I'll be fine, and if I come across anything scary, I promise I'll run. Lucas seems satisfied. All right. Oops. Forgot to turn off my alarm. He nods, Lucas, and he says, all right. I'll see you back at the Adventurers Guild, kid. And he kind of like pats her hair and then walks away. Astrid looks at the foreboding, is that a word? Entrance of the mine, and takes out from her backpack a lantern, which is a great question. Do we have one? And does it make sense to make a move here to check supply? Check your gear. I'm gonna say we were going to a mine. We packed a lantern. I would probably use check your gear for something that we hadn't planned. So I'm just gonna say that, yeah, she grabs a small gas lantern, turns it on, and heads on inside. So, we had a vow to delve into an abandoned mine and retrieve precious minerals. Now, we made this one dangerous. Interesting. Very interesting. So, let's go ahead and mark progress on that one. And I guess we're gonna make another journey here. We're gonna do a delve into the mine to get to those precious minerals. Now, I'm gonna make this delve into mine. I'm gonna make this troublesome. I don't want to spend too much time in this one. We already spent an entire session and a bit on the session and a half on the journey, which was great. I maybe next time we explore the mines a bit more. I don't know. We'll see. So now let's go ahead and put some cave music. Now, let's pick some location themes. I think infested might be good. Let's look at these tables. Yes. Infested is going to be perfect for this. Ruined. I mean, it's a ruined mine, so... I like it. Let's call it a ruined, infested mine. We don't have any... tables we could roll on this. Oh, but we have the Ironsworn oracles. So we do actually have the mine. Oh no, wait, that's the naming. I guess we don't have the actual... Oh, that's right. To create a delve, I had to actually create... Let's just mess around here for a second. Open the compendium. Ooh, look at that. So we can roll on mine. And we can add... Infested. It's an infested mine. Foul creatures dwell here. So, if we roll on feature... An excavated chamber. Excavated chamber again. Unearthed secret. Collapsed tunnel. Anyway, we can use this. Sorry for that interruption. Okay, let's move on. So, we are going to undertake a journey again. Now, since we are still staying vigilant, we don't have the +1 anymore. Bandit is probably at my side, kind of like, you know, bristling a little bit, or every now and then growling. He's not too happy to be underground or in this cave. So let's go ahead and undertake an expedition. Just straight up wits. It's a weak hit. Excellent. So now, let's go ahead and face a peril at the waypoint. We are going to envision what we encounter. So, we can click here to reveal a danger, or we can roll on these other Starforged oracles. Let's try both. Let's just roll on hundreds of things. Let's see where we are. Cramped tunnels. I like that. So we start going in, and a lot of this has kind of like collapsed over time, or due to the age, it's gotten smaller. So we're actually going through like this very cramped tunnels, going up and down and having to slide a little bit like that. And what is the danger that we come across? Reveal a danger. Check the theme card. Check the domain card. A discovery undermines or complicates your quest. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and roll on the... I'm going to roll a... What is it? Do I have a d6 here? Yeah. So 1, 2, 3 is this. 4, 5, 6 is this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll for peril. Lured or driven into a trap or dead end. Don't think I'm going to go with that one just yet. But I do like the one on the top, hazardous architecture or terrain. So as we're going through these cramped tunnels, you know, it's like kind of like moving through there. And I think I'm just going to stick with the Starforged tables after all. Sorry for wasting your time with that. As we're moving through these things, you know, we come to an opening and there's one of these wooden structures holding the thing together. And we can see that the wood is rotten, very, very rotten. We can see the dirt is kind of like, it's very close to just basically collapsing. And we're going to have to move very carefully through this. So this is going to be an edge roll. We're moving with balance, very carefully, trying not to touch the walls or move anything, because if not, this might collapse on us. So let's go ahead and roll with edge. We don't have anything. I think I'm going to instruct Bandit to go first. You know, go boy, go. And he kind of like goes in front up until I kind of like higher level where it's kind of safe and just kind of sits there in the distance, you know, looking a bit worried at us. And let's see what happens. Oh no, that's a miss. You fail, or a momentary success is undermined by a dire turn of events. Pay the price. So, as we're moving, you know, very carefully, you know, we're trying our best not to touch anything. One of our tools, maybe a shovel or a pickaxe, we don't realize it's the pickaxe is perfect. It's hooked on our backpack, and just the tip of it gets snagged into the wooden beam, and it's kind of hooked on there. And Astrid is like, okay, I'm just gonna, and then as she just moves just a little bit, it snaps and dirt begins to fall, and the wooden beam begins to, and everything is just collapsing. And we're gonna have to make another edge roll just to jump and just to run and jump and get out of there. And just for these few seconds, we're gonna change the music to action suspense as we are running for our lives. What do I do? What do I do? Wasteland War. When the hell not? No, not that one. I need some action music. Okay, never mind. You know what? Let's just put that one. No, this is just too much action. Never mind. Let's just stick with the... I'm sorry. I need to organize my music. Why did I put sorrow? Let's go back to suspense. The Underdark. And yeah, let's go ahead and make that roll. See if we can jump out of here and survive that. Another edge roll. Oof, it's a strong hit. So basically she begins to run. Bandit is barking ruff, really loud, you know. And she runs to the edge of it. She jumps and she just barely makes it. The tunnel collapsing behind her, which means she's gonna have to find another way out. She stands up and kind of like dusts it off and kind of like shakes Bandit's head. It's okay, boy, it's okay. And she hears a sound, eerie sound, coming from deep in the mines. The shaking of the falling ground has alerted something to our presence. She's not quite sure what she heard or if she heard something, but she gets a feeling nonetheless, and a little prickling sensation in the back of her neck, which she quickly tries to ignore and says, "Come on, boy, let's go." And we continue to delve into the mines. And we score a miss. We can burn momentum and turn it into a weak hit. Sure, why not? Let's do that. Let's keep things simple. So we burn momentum, and we suffer costs en route. And these costs are going to be two. On the one hand, it's going to be supply, and on the other hand, it's going to be spirit. So basically, some of the gas of the thing is running out, so we have to kind of like refill it. And Astrid swears that she can hear some wailing coming from deep in the mines. A very unnerving wailing. She stops just as she's refilling the lantern. She stands up, trying to hear harder, but she can't quite. And then suddenly Bandit is right next to her, kind of like very, very concerned. And we're gonna do this. We're gonna try to endure stress, and we have Bandit alongside us, so that will help us out. So let's see how this goes. We're gonna endure stress, highest of heart and spirit, and we may re-roll your action die if it is less. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll. It's a strong hit. We don't need to re-roll. So we can choose one. Shake it off, take +1 spirit, or embrace the darkness stick. We're going to shake it off. She's going to be looking, and then when Bandit kind of like rubs against her and calls her attention, she just, you know, it's like, she puts it off her mind. She just kneels down and cuddles Bandit. Says, "It's okay, girl. It's okay, boy. I've got you. I can't remember if Bandit was a boy or a girl. I may have called Bandit girl, boy in previous episodes. We're just gonna put here him. So let's decide on that. It's okay, boy. It's okay. I got you. You're gonna protect me from any monsters that show up, right?" She laughs as she cuddles him, and they get back up to go deeper into this mine. Will we encounter any monsters in this delve? Who knows? Let's go ahead and roll again. That's a miss. You are waylaid by a crisis or arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat. Do not mark progress and pay the price. Let's go ahead and first roll on a feature. 6. Feature. Rubble-strewn paths. I like that. It's perfect for a mine. And let's roll on a peril. And I think I'm gonna go for an infested peril this time. Creatures reveal new aspects or abilities. Let's go with that. Why not? So, we're going down this rubble-strewn path. Actually, no, we're holding it with our left hand, and we're going with the sword drawn out now that there's a little bit more space. And then we see in the distance something reflecting light from our torch. A green light. And as we slowly get closer to it, we see this bulbous shaped creature with like a little string and a little ball at the end. And it's kind of like sleeping. Its eyes are closed. It's semi-transparent green, and Astrid is just amazed. It's because it's like, what am I looking at? What am I seeing? It's a monster. What is this? It's so cute, you know? And but she remembers Lucas's words, so she keeps her distance. And as she's looking at it, the creature kind of like whoop, opens its eyes and kind of shakes and turns to look at Astrid. There's a pause. Bandit is grrr. And the little slime, about, yay big, bloop, bounces just a little closer to Astrid. Astrid takes a step back, the rubble on her feet rolling, and the slime bloop, continues. Bandit steps back too. And it looks like we're gonna have to fight a slime. So, let's go ahead and make that progress track. So, a slime, I'm gonna make it a dangerous or troublesome foe. Let's go ahead and make it... Let's go ahead and make it dangerous. It's not super or troublesome. Oh, it's just a little slime. Okay, let's go ahead and make it troublesome. And we'll call it slime. So, we're gonna put some slime fighting music. Let's go ahead and put brutal battle. As a slime sort of like starts to take up speed, and Astrid yells, "Bandit, bandit, get behind me! Get behind me!" She puts her sword in front of her, and we are going to... Where are the combat moves? Enter the fray. We are facing in the thick of it as close quarters, facing off against your foe. Yeah, let's go ahead and roll that. I think facing off against their foe is perfectly fine. Strong hit with a match! Take +2 momentum. You are in control. So let's go ahead and decide what that strong hit with a match means. If anything, guard faction. No, thank you. Risk peace. Okay, these are not helping me at all. Await humanity. Oh boy. Forgotten person. Await human. Okay, none of these mean anything to me. Okay, I can't think of anything to help us out as a strong hit with a match would mean, so we're just gonna ignore it. And if I think of anything, reactively, we'll just retcon it back to him. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna strike. We're gonna remember the kind of like moves that Lucas taught us, and we're going to roll iron and attack this slime. We got no bonuses. We're gonna roll iron. Oh, that's a miss. The fight turns against you. You're in a bad spot and must pay the price. Let's pay the price. Let's go ahead and roll on that. A new enemy is revealed. Oh boy, 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 boy. Yeah, why not? Let's go with that. Let's change the track to dangerous, as we kind of like go to hit the slime and it kind of whoop, jumps out of the way to the side, surprisingly agile for what we expected. And the sword just hits among the rubble, and she looks up and she sees, boink, another slime coming towards her. This is looking bad. We might have to run out of this. So let's go ahead and... Normally when we enter combat, we don't just say what we're fighting. It says, envision your objective and give it a rank. So we could call this bypass the slimes that just appeared. So, let's go and say we're reacting under fire. We are fleeing or getting back into position or taking cover. So we're gonna roll. Astrid's gonna yell, bandit, bandit with me! And they're gonna run into the mines, trying to get away from these slimes, which is completely viable. With our worst stat and edge. It's a weak hit. You avoid the worst of the danger or overcome the obstacle, but not without a cost. Make a suffer move, -1. You stay in a bad spot. I'm gonna say that we're trying to run, and the other slime that's in front of it kind of like jumps right into us, and Astrid instinctively covers up with her arm, and it bounces off of her arm, but all the acid on her arm kind of like it's burning her. Not super strong. It stings a lot. It's not like blah, melting her skin or anything like that, but it stings a lot, and she quickly has to kind of like, you know, put away her sword while running to like scrape it off, and she takes 1 harm. And we do have our pet dog that will help us with this as well. So we're gonna endure harm, and we're gonna roll. We get a weak hit. We got a... What do we get? A 3 + 3, 6. Even if we got a 6, we wouldn't be able to. to beat a weak hit. So if you're not wounded, you may lose -1 momentum in exchange for +1 health. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna lose 1 momentum for +1 health. So Bandit raises up our spirits by barking very loudly and inspirationally. So this is looking bad. This is looking very bad. I imagine, let's go ahead and see what the creatures do. We are on time for this episode, so I believe it's Misk. Combat action. Block a path or cut off an objective. I like that. I like that. So we're running away, but we reach a dead end. We turn around, and both the creatures are coming towards us. We're left with no option but to clash. So we charge straight at them with our sword, and well, let's see what happens. We get a weak hit. Mark progress, but the counter blow or setback. You stay in a bad spot and must pay the price. Your action causes collateral damage, so mark progress. Collateral damage or has an unintended effect. Ooh. Collateral damage. So we said we were given a very bad old sword, and the slimes are made of acid. So we do kind of like cut and injure one of them, but we can see that our sword is slowly deteriorating. So I'm gonna add here a little clock and call it sword durability. Let's make this like old classic games, and we're gonna mark, actually the clock should be sword breaks. That's what's gonna happen when this clock fills up. So we mark 1 tick on that. Our sword is very much slowly melting away from these slimes. So what do the slimes do? They create a distraction, counter or reflect an attack. Destroy something or render it useless. I like that. The slimes are going to try to destroy my sword. So I'm going to face danger with iron to kind of like, you know, would this be iron? Would this be, oh wait, that's not face danger. We're in combat. That's a react under fire. To avoid danger. In pursuit, fleeing, dodging, taking cover. Blocking or diverting with force. Yeah, let's go ahead. Roll with iron. So we're gonna roll with iron. It's a weak hit. You avoid the worst of the danger or overcome the obstacle, but not without a cost. Make a suffer move and you stay in a bad spot. So I'm gonna say that, yeah, they only, so basically I kind of like keep them at bay, but they still manage to kind of like jump onto me, and I kind of like block them with the sword, and they jump off and they bounce off, and my sword is taking the worst of it. I'm seeing that my sword is slowly deteriorating, and we really don't have much more to do. I'm going to try to clash again. I'm going to try to get these creatures injured and out of here before my sword breaks down, and let's hope this works. A strong hit! That's what I like to see. Mark progress twice. You overwhelm your foe and are in control. I am going to try to take decisive action. I strike back at them, and let's see what happens. And please, 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 let's go ahead and see how this goes. We're gonna roll. A strong hit, yes! So, Astrid charges in, strikes one slime down, strikes the other to the side, and when one of them is in the ground, she strikes it through, and you can see that she is much more agitated than she expected to be, against these little creatures that seemed so cute and harmless at first. But with those powerful strikes, the slimes dissolve into the ground, melting. And they are gone. And that is it for the slimes. We have bypassed the slimes. That was a danger in the mine, so we're not going to do much more there. And that's our session. Astrid kind of like wipes the sweat from her brow. First puts down the lamp. Wipes the sweat from her brow. Let's waste 20 seconds looking for music as we... She puts down the torch, wipes the sweat from her brow. Bandit comes back closer to her side. She falls to her knees. And that's when Bandit comes up and, you know, starts licking her arm where she was injured. She hugs Bandit and says, "We're okay, boy. We're okay, they're gone." And just hugs him close. The camera goes away in this little cramped tunnel full of little rocks and pebbles. As Astrid continues to say, "We're okay, boy. We're okay." And that is our session. Now, let's go ahead and end the session. Identify if you develop your ties to connection. Develop your relationship. Yes. Yes, we definitely shared a moment with them and we journeyed with them. So let's go ahead and develop our relationship with Lucas. We had a moment. Yeah. I like that a lot. And if we moved forward on a quest, reach a milestone. A milestone. I don't think we've completely delved into the mine. Become a member of the Adventurers Guild. You know what? I think we did. Because I'm going to say that she picks up a little... What's it going to be? The little head thing of the slime, and she kind of packs that into like a little trophy to show Lucas that she was able to fight and defeat the slimes. And I think that's going to advance her into becoming a member of the guild. If there is a quest, connection, or other situation you would like to give focus in your next session, make note of it and take +1 momentum. I definitely want to make focus on the delve into abandoned mine and retrieve the precious minerals. I want to get that done. Yeah. So let's take +1 momentum on that. And last but not least, let's go ahead and roll on this table to see if anything else happens that's interesting. Flashback reveals an aspect of your background or nature. I like that. I like that a lot. So we have a little flashback, and let's go ahead and change the music. No, this music's perfect for that. It's the woods again. Different day, butterflies, and you can hear childish laughter. And we see Astrid as a child. Actually, we know it's Astrid because we hear the voice of her grandpa saying, "Astrid! Astrid! Come back! Where are you?" She's just chasing a bunny through the woods when suddenly she stops and she turns her head. And we see a little green spirit. Has a little... a leaf on its head like a little antenna, and it's green and it's wobbly and has a little face, and it kind of turns its head, and Astrid turns, you know, her head imitating it, And they just play a little bit like that when through the bushes comes out Astrid's grandpa, and she's like, Astrid, there you are, you know, picking her up and hugging. You scared me, girl. And she's like, Astrid, she's like, Grandpa, look. And she points, and there's nothing there. And her grandpa, you know, takes her back to the farm away from the forest. And that is where we are going to finish today's session. Yes, I loved it. I love playing this. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope to be able to continue this more frequently. So a huge thanks to everyone that's been watching the show, that you know, subscribes and everything with the channel. Huge thank you. You're a big motivation. A huge thank you to Sean Tompking for, as always, making this amazing game. Michael for making the logos and everything. Ben Straub and company that are making all these amazing tools to play in the game. All the entire Foundry module. It's just wonderful. It's amazing, and I love it. Ian Fisher for this wonderful music that I can't stop recommending. Just join his Patreon, and just, I use this music for all my games. It's wonderful. And ConcernedApe for making Stardew Valley. My favorite game ever. So, thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next episode. Bye-bye.